Hey, hey,
Hey,
hey.
hey, everybody! How are y'all doing today?
All right. How
All
you
right.
doing?
How you doing?
Okay, we about to make some boss brains history around here today.
Oh
Yes.
Lord. Oh Lord.
Yes,
What we about to do, boss?
girl, we about to have our first feature.
What?
This is
It's my first time. Did I dress okay? Am I appropriate?
Yes. We about to pop it. We about to pop it.
right.
I just want
Yes.
everyone to know that I am clothed.
No, you're not.
Okay.
No, you're not.
Especially after last week's. Okay. I'm clothed. It's a tube top. It is very covering everything.
Yes,
Angle of my camera is making it so you can't see that.
We
yes,
are of one flesh.
All
yes,
right.
yes. So, yeah, is there anything you all want to say before we get into the show, we get into the hosting, and get into the meat of what we got going on tonight of this Boss Brains presents the Brainstorm and Intimate Poetry Experience.
That's all they need to know. They don't need no foreplay.
Mm-mm.
Oh,
That's right. If you
oh,
ain't into meat, we got veggies and side dishes. I mean, just what you
Right.
need right here.
If it,
I like that.
Yes.
I
from
like
our
that.
from our produce boxes.
Yep.
Yes, yes,
Organic.
Each one feed one.
yes, yes. And so I'm sorry for looking down. I was going to try to start a watch
As
party on my page.
So am I. Like
But,
we're looking down because not that we're
no,
ignoring you. We just try to make sure everything is rolling.
Oh, we doing this multitasking. It's all good.
Yeah.
yes.
Get it.
And I was gonna say, well, we still need you on the main page, Raven, because
Yes.
if you
I'm,
start a watch party, you still got to catch the live
oh no, no,
feeds.
no! I'm not doing that part. I'm I'm I'm
Okay.
I'm, I'm here.
Live
Okay.
and in color.
I'm in my
Yes.
lane.
Yes.
I'm in the lane. My lane.
Okay.
Yes, we are good.
Okay.
Feed,
All
feed.
right.
So what we doing?
We are ready.
We're ready.
Oh,
Uh,
oh.
so I'm ready. If y'all are ready,
We
Yeah.
ready.
Okay. So what? So what? We're
we
So
gonna
ready
I
to
guess
bring on.
we gonna bring on in historic boss brain history.
Yeah.
Brainstorm.
introducing the one and
Huh?
only Chamber.
Yeah, so I'll do the hosting and the introduction, and then y'all come
Whoa.
back on after his first poem.
Let's
Oh,
do
I
it.
like to come back on.
All right.
Come back.
Yes,
All right.
yes.
As you know here.
Hey everybody. So as you know, this is Boss Brains presents the Brainstorm, an intimate poetry experience. And we are sharing this with you. And yes, so we have a feature tonight. We have the magnificent, comparable Chamber 7. He is a spoken word artist. He is an author. He is a life coach. He is an engineer. He is an all around magnificent person. So I'll probably say more about him later, and the rest of the boss brains will get on and we'll talk to him and ask questions. So without further ado, we're going to bring on Mr. Chamber 7. Yes.
Mm. Oh, excuse me. Hey,
You knew we were
what's
coming
up?
on.
I know. What's happening, y'all? What's going on?
Nothing much. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Blessed to be here. Appreciate y'all having me on the show. Thank you so much.
Yes, and I want to let the people know you are here. You're hailing all the way from Atlanta, Georgia, because these virtual streets run deep, long, and strong. We are all over the place. So,
Right, right.
so are you ready to get into it? You want to start your first piece?
Absolutely.
Is there anything you want to say before you get started? Or
No, I can. I mean, I can jump right into it. I'm gonna read this first piece. I'm kind of excited about this. I don't think I've
before
actually
you
done this
before
before.
you
So.
read your first piece, go ahead and drop your information, and we'll drop it in the middle, and you'll drop it at the end again. Just we don't want people to miss you.
Oh, fantastic. All right. So, hi, my name is Chamber 7. It's my stage name. So, Chamber 7 is just CHAMBERSE7EN. You can find me on Facebook. I also have a YouTube channel. Goes by the same thing. Chamber 7 replaced the V with a 7. So, it's CHAMBERSE, the number 7EN. And you can also find me on Instagram because I'm a actor, ST Singletary. And yeah, that's pretty much where you can find me. Sean
All
T.
righty.
Singletary.
All righty. Well, we're going to let you go ahead and get into your first piece, and we'll be back.
All right, fantastic. Here we go. This one's a brief one I like to call Rebel Without Applause. My birth certificate is marked first name OI, last name wish you would, but after a careful review of my credentials, I bet you wish you could. You got me as twisted as Bush with dreadlocks. Headlock your head spot with a flow so crucial you gotta respect it. The fatal phonetic is hunting the homes of microphones just so I can wreck it. And the only way you wreck a microphone is if you smack it with a shovel. I'm telepathically dismantling mics at an atomic level. Contact from XLR to amp is like pulling pins from nuclear hand grenades. Nah, I don't have a rap sheet, but that don't mean you won't get sprayed. The violence I portray comes from the verbal spray of intellect instead of the gunplay that add to the number of bodies that so many ghetto graves collect. If you're waiting for me to fall off, you might as well have a Snickers while you're waiting. Your predictions have all been mistaken. You've become another victim of underestimation. I'm too busy teaching the life lessons that need to be taught. My flames of fury iron out the wrinkle kinks in your thoughts. My main mission has got me lurking for better ways for your spirit to be uplifted. I'm not here to rep myself, but to show that anyone can be gifted. So I purchased better equipment by switching up my budget. Haters, eyeing my dollars, but don't know my sales aren't for the profit. So I just stay encouraged by past accomplishments as I continue to hunger for more, because each one has my ceiling of aspiration, but they've quickly become my floor. DNA of an elephant, genetically encoded to hold a grudge. Even with the open wounds exposed from the pedestal of perseverance, I refuse to budge. Whack MCs should fear me, but you ain't got to be scared to catch a beat down here. You catch a brick flying through the air, because this skinny fella never learned to fight fair. I be a rebel without applause, because my self-esteem no longer needs your compliments. I be the rebel without a pause, because I don't have time to explain the difference between conceit and confidence. My content holds substance far beyond any adversity the devil hurdles at me. No longer will I fear. If God be for me, then who's against me? For yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadows, wherever a soul's in need of steel girders, this contractor poet is willing to go. Because under the spotlight of the moonlight with nothing but crickets as my audience, I've rocked the atmosphere and made grass blades sway without the need of electronics. My style's bionic. It's ironic that most of today's so-called entertainers lack true talent. They've become prostitutes of the machine. Fakes can be easily spotted because they're the ones in desperate need of the beat to carry the weight of their fallacies. But cats like me, nah, we don't need a beat to spit with. I can light up your mind lyrically. Just be sure you turn up your attention loud enough so that your spirit is hearing me.
Yes! I know you said you didn't need applause, but yes!
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Yeah. Yeah. One of my favorite pieces.
Yes. So what I know a lot of that was about you. So what inspired that poem?
This is actually a really like old piece, but it's still its essence kind of reverberates even to now. It's a piece that I wrote because like as a rookie when I first started off in poetry, I really felt like I wasn't getting the appropriate not necessarily big ups, but you know, I just wanted people to notice that I was standing there, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, you know what? That's not really why I'm here. I'm not here to get applause or to get a pat on the back. So I wrote a piece to kind of remind people, yo, I'm not here to make y'all happy. I'm here to spit because that's what makes me feel good. So if it helps other people, great. If it don't, you know, it is what it is.
That's right.
Okay, so look, question. So it's safe to say you're not one of those poets that just are in this business just to get applause or trophies or anything like that. You really spit from the heart.
Nah, and you know what? And a lot of times, I think a lot of people feel like that's the case because you kind of want to get some feedback. But a lot of times I just want to get feedback to see is my message coming across, not necessarily because, you know, I want the finger snaps and the people be like, oh, you're so dope. Like I appreciate it, but is the message getting through is my main intent. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Makes
That's
sense.
why I always like you. Go ahead. I ain't saying nothing else. Go.
Well,
And the other thing too is the main focus always is like I want people to see it's not really about me. It's about the fact that if I can do it, and I think I even said that in the piece, if I'm able to do it, anybody should be able to do it. You know what I'm saying? So that's the essence of what I'm trying to get at.
well, clearly Clearly, those sentiments come through because you have a followership. For those of you who are new to the brainstorm, we actually go through and we read all your comments. So from the top, Mr. Marcus Turner was watching and he said, "Hey, ladies." So we said, "Hello."
Hey, Marcus.
Miss Kelsey says she cannot wait to hear Chamber 7. This is before you started.
Yes.
Ed Owen said,
thank-
"Hey, beautiful ladies." Hello.
Hey,
Hey, Spirit Wolf. I said deep, long, and strong because you had said that, Butterfly, and I liked it. Mojave said, "Let's go," as you started your piece, and then said Chamber.
Yeah.
Janelle put fire emojis. Brandy said, "Hey, my brother, love you."
Nice.
Shea Butter gave
Nice.
you applause emojis and fire emojis. Janelle then said heart emoji and claps. And then Jennifer said, "Yes, fire boo," with some clap emojis.
Yes.
Nice. Very
nice.
I appreciate that, y'all. Thank you.
So
Thank you.
And I just want to remind everybody that's watching, if you have any questions for Chamber 7, please put them in the comments, and the elusive RAV will be glad to ask you those questions, Chamber. And so we're all interactive. We're asking questions from out there. We're asking questions from in here.
Like
And
that.
as soon as you put that bottle down, we're going to get into your next poem.
Fantastic.
Okay. We're going away, and we're ready for you. As long as you're ready, we're ready.
All right.
Always ready.
Okay.
Always ready. Always ready. All right. So, this one is interesting. This one's called Fallen. Let me start off by saying that I'm sorry for what I've done. Though you may not even know what it is, let me explain the actions behind my indiscretion before allowing you to pass judgment. Had a strange feeling that I wasn't supposed to ever approach, but I felt a strong need to play host to a long list of adventures and romance I wanted to take you on even before I even knew you. But your eyes entrapped me. Your professionalism so sensual in a way that it easily explains how eventually we would exchange numbers to find time together. This is merely the beginning of feelings that led to images of you being so appealing. So now I'm revealing that you are something special. I want to enjoy your company. True, I do find you extremely attractive from your hair to your hips, from your eyes to your lips, from your breasts and rear assets, all the way to your well-manicured fingertips, and I see more than just the materialistic. There is something extra about you. Much more than coordinated lipstick, but I'd be a hypocrite to say that all of that, but it is the little details I see. I take the visual cues less traveled, a careful examination from your head to your feet. In discreet, I see great posture, a show of structure that demands the respect of the world, an attitude of confidence that makes an obvious distinction between a woman and a girl. So please allow me to be the one to blush, but dare not take offense. I am merely being honest because if I'm not, it will haunt my conscience. I was once so modest, but now I protest by pointing out the very best of what I've seen because there is just no denying you are something special. My apprehension is made in this prayer. God, please don't let what I see be the only part of her worth discovering. Contrary to the average male species, uncovering you physically was not my main goal. Admittedly, I was initially only attracted to your exterior, but that was until we spoke. I'm in your depth. I realize that you are so much more. No, these words that reach you are not meant to be construed as sexual. I would prefer to undress your mental and leave marks on your medulla of how a few words can soothe you. Your translation of my diction will soon be revealing your other side. So in my mind, you can become whole. One part body, one part soul. A compliment I'm sure you haven't often been told. As men, we can often be so cold in an attempt to only satisfy what we see with our eyes, never taking the time to comfort the pain you may have buried deep inside. So first, I want to apologize for all of us that have done this. But for my own personal indiscretion towards you, I apologize, because in just 2 visits, a conversation of 10 minutes, 17 seconds I spent on your voicemail and our verbal exchange where I hoped we would properly detail the terms of our first date, my emotions culminate into an explosion that I just couldn't wait any longer to say that I think I'm falling for you because I think you're something special. Peace. That's my piece.
That was about me. I about touched myself on that. That was, yes. You know what that was? That was something special. That's
That was
what that
something
was.
special.
That
you
was
like that?
something special.
That
Yeah.
was great.
Nice, nice. I like that. I like
Yes.
that. I appreciate it. I appreciate
So
it.
shall we dare ask who?
Who?
Nobody.
That seems like several people.
Nobody.
Right.
Okay, you're right. So to the comments. So
Right.
you have your first question. I'm gonna come back to the question, but I'm going to give you your kudos on this particular piece. Erica said, "Okay, Chamber, hashtag poetry and shit."
All right.
With, Janelle said, "Yes, poet." Fuse is now
Okay.
watching. Hello,
Oh.
Fuse.
Confused.
Shea Butter said, "Wow." Erica said,
Okay.
hashtag bars. Randy said, "My uber talented friend Adam and I are listening in," with fire emojis.
Oh shit.
Jennifer said, "One part body, one part soul." That part, she was quoting that part of your piece. And said,
Yes.
beautiful.
Yes.
Shea Butter said,
Nice.
sheesh. Fire emoji, heart emoji, fire emoji, heart emoji. Terrence is watching. Hello, Terrence. Janelle said, "Nice," with exclamation points, and hand claps.
Yes. And I do have a couple people on my page because I'm doing a watch party. So I have Eric, Carlos, Terrence, and Dion. They're all watching. But also author Larry D. Maddox said nice.
Nice.
Nice. So nobody. This is about nobody in particular is what you're saying. Like you didn't pass somebody by at the store and then thought all these thoughts. You didn't, because that is some real sapiosexual poetry that you did there, and I was feeling a lot of that. Like,
It was very visceral. Very visceral. So
yes.
No.
did you dream?
Me
Did you
right now,
dream
but-
about it? I'm gonna keep hounding this question because I know
He ain't gonna answer.
that's okay. We find out behind the scenes.
Be elusive.
Oh,
Oh,
Part two.
he being elusive.
oh, he can take your title.
The elusive is definitely qualifying that as.
Did he just take himself off the screen?
He
What
took
happened?
himself off the screen.
Look, I don't know if he
I
meant
scare them away. Apparently, I scare them away. That's all right.
Let's see.
We cut up here, y'all. Don't mind us.
We
cut up.
sure do.
We cut
all
up.
the time.
If you're new to this broadcast, please know.
There we go. There we go.
Got it. Because I always got a backup just in case. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Fantastic. That's what I'm talking about. So
Something
here
happened.
we go.
Okay.
So are you
Right.
getting them?
Yeah, I was trying to get in there so I could answer the question. No, not elusive at all. It was one of those things where I had a conversation with some of my fellas, and we kind of came to terms with the idea that, you know, a lot of times it's also the thing where like people always seem to think that men are always about, you know, just about the physical. So they only like staring at your physical. So they're only paying attention to your physical, and nobody actually like has a conversation with you. You know what I'm saying? So I said, well, I want to do a piece where I'm like actually explaining how I feel, because me as a registered sapiosexual, where, you know, I'm not always paying attention to how you look attractively.
Can you drop the link to the registration for that class? I want to get certified.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
So I'm rearranging my studio due to technical difficulties. There we go. All right, so that's
you good.
out of the way. There we go. Awesome. All right, perfect. So yeah, so I decided to do a piece where I said, you know what, I'm gonna do something different, and you know, and tell my side of the story, because it's not always about how attractive you are. I've dealt with a lot of attractive women who had really shitty souls.
Rewind.
Wait a minute. Say it from your chest, because I don't think you said that hard enough. I don't think you felt
I
that.
think you need to go ahead and get in chest position.
right here.
Open that
that
heart
was-
chakra,
He
the
felt
whole
that.
chakra, and
Right.
let's
From
So
deep down.
let me say that again, just so
Yeah.
I make sure everybody heard me.
roll over
I've
it.
dealt with a lot of beautiful people with really shitty souls.
Amen.
And I think a lot of times what happens is that we pay so much close attention to their exterior that we don't pay attention to the rust in the interior. And
Right.
you find out on the end. So I just, I decided to write a piece about it to be like, yo, I think you're dope, but I think it's more than just, what your exterior looks like, So
Mm-hmm.
and you know what? A lot of men fall for that bullshit. And no, I take that back. Because I think a lot of times we separate genders. I think men and women fall for that bullshit. I think you pay so
Yes.
much
We all
attention.
fall for the glitz and the glamour.
Amen.
Right.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to write a piece about that. So there it is.
Okay.
So
That was nice.
so of course now,
Yes.
of course that discourse is now having comments. So
Fantastic.
Marcus said, "Damn, this turned into an interrogation." LOL.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh.
Jennifer
like it.
said, "I'm here for all of it." LOL.
Right. Facts.
Marcus then follows up with real talk when you were
Yeah.
talking about exterior, interior.
Mhm.
Shea Butter said, "From your chest." LOL. When we were having the chest conversation.
Right.
Erica said sex. And Spirit Wolf said, many souls like that out there, talking about the ones that
Facts. Yeah.
have fantastic exteriors, but the
Yeah.
interior not so much.
Yeah.
And then Marcus said, "Damn, say that Russ and the soul line again."
I'm
And
saying.
then Erica said, "Truth."
Yeah. It's the
Yeah.
truth.
That's the truth.
It's the truth.
Yes, yes. You got people out here Googling on my page. They said they had to Google sapiosexual. I was like, yes,
They better
find that
get
out.
one.
Because that's
You know
something
what?
everybody needs
And
to
can
know.
we just give,
Absolutely.
because people
Woo.
get real sometimes lazy about the Googling and want to just ask. So
Yeah.
thank you,
Yeah.
smart audience,
Right.
for
Googling.
taking
Right.
ownership of your
Right.
What's your
Let
face?
me just Google this because I don't know what that brother said, but you know what? I appreciate that. We have a generation of people that I'm from the generation of people that used to have an Encyclopedia Britannica. You know what I'm saying?
the
Where-
whole set.
Right, the whole set, and you were really special if you had like the special edition Jones that had the appendixes and additions and stuff like that. But now you have a whole generation of people that you literally have a computer in your pocket and you still don't know shit, and it's kind of frustrating. So I don't even bother to explain stuff anymore. I just say it and be like, look, you can Google that. My generation had to suffer and wait till they got home. So
And sound that shit out phonetically if you can't spell it.
Come on, somebody. Let Google help you.
So yes, so we
Let Google help
appreciate the Googlers, because I am a prime Googler of words because I need to know what they mean at all times.
Right.
I'll be in the middle of a conversation and Google in your face. I'll be like, wait, hold
That
on.
don't sound right. Wait a minute.
1 second. I Google it right there.
Anybody else Google on themselves? I go to say something. I'm like,
Yeah.
I
I'll be like, wait. I'm not sure if that's right.
That's not right. That's right.
Yeah.
Glenroy then said, "Hit them with the knowledge, nephew."
Oh,
Kelsey said, "Hashtag talk your shit."
yes.
Erica said, "Sapiosexual," and Ed said, "They fear the knowledge."
Right.
Yes.
Sir.
Yeah.
Good deal. Yes.
Google is your friend for everybody out
your
there.
friend. Yes. You gotta let it in.
Yes.
You gotta let it in.
Let it in or get in it. Either one.
Yes.
Right.
Indeed.
Okay. Are you ready for your next piece there, Mr. Chamber 7?
Always ready. I got you. You. I'm always ready.
So we're gonna keep rolling. So
I like it. And and for everybody that's out there that's got questions, I'm always game for questions. You know what I'm saying? I
got it in queue. I got it in queue for you.
So we'll ask when we come back.
All right, bet. So all right, I'm gonna roll into this next one. This one's called Always Greener. Unfaithful husbands cringe at the very sight of my name in print because their wives criticize them for not being as cunning a linguist. Boyfriends search for me frantically in at-home caller IDs and cell phones because as my mouth opens, so does the inner regions of their girlfriend's hidden happiness whenever they're left home alone. Even the women experiencing midlife crisis think that I'm the nicest because I keep my style professional and my game is the tightest. The assumption of the obvious is that I display some form of cockiness, but know that I don't do it on purpose. These are some of several side effects I've grown accustomed to when others listen to my poetry. I'm only the result of a proper mama's boy upbringing, trained fervently in the art of chivalry, always aware of an appropriate complimentary delivery. I've become the envy of matrimonial men because I can treat a woman so well. There are supposed to be great advantages to living this single life, but I can hardly tell. Even though I may have more digits than I know what to do with, I still believe that having one true love to come home to is a gift. But I'm still considered the playboy, the gigolo, spending every weekend on the go through me, some live vicariously, but little do they know. Compassion? Oh, how little I've shown, as if a vacant space occupies my ribcage where a humble heart should find a home. But oh, how bitter I've grown from numerous failed attempts at stable relationships, forcing me to adhere firmly to extended months of not trying to be with nobody simply because I don't want just any woman lying in my bed next to me. My greatest fear is the nightmare of my sons and daughters' future progress reports would soon become one of the many victims of being a product of my divorce. I miss them so much. It hurts just to watch cartoons and drive past parks filled with smiling children. I've lost count on the countless nights I've spent crying from missing their soft touch, tormented by the thoughts of the woulda, coulda, shoulda beens. And then to add insult to injury, I'm confined by the stereotype that I'm supposed to be like every other single father, most likely to be the author of the love them, leave them attitude. And having black skin adds no reason for my allowing me to much latitude. There's no need to be rude. I'm not your typical. Still yearning for a union with that one virtuous woman often described in the biblical, so the view of me living fancy free is merely a front. Don't let what your eyes see determine what you want. Envy has a way of repaying covetousness with the principle to which the greedy rich are never happy because they're constantly lusting after more cheddar. I detest those who make no effort to secure the bond that they have been blessed with any better, so I end up envying them and they end up envying me. A vicious cycle perpetuated by jealousy, but trust me, everything is not always as it seems. So if you have a half decent chance at securing happiness in your home, don't be so quick to wish that you lived like me because you will only end up alone. Please heed this lesson from the pain that resurfaces on occasions when I'm unable to hide, to let you know that the grass is not always greener. Just consider this a fair warning from the other side.
You know what?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's my favorite reaction in the world right there, is when you get a bunch of scrunch faces after a piece and everybody be like, what?
Yes.
True.
Your drum game was set up in that poem, though. I was like, how
Yeah, you're right. I
Right.
appreciate it. I
So
appreciate it.
Jennifer said the art of
Yes.
language and love of words is sadly wanting these days.
Mm-hmm.
I said hashtag hip happiness because you know that was in your piece. Okay.
Yeah.
You said a lot of other things and I couldn't pick up on hip happiness. Anyways, Janelle said, "Oh, I see what you did." Yes.
Mhm.
And then I said, "Oh, okay."
I appreciate
and Shea
it.
Butter said, "Yo, cunning a linguist? The wordplay."
That was at the beginning.
Yeah.
And then Ed
Yeah.
said, "I'm feeling these words."
I appreciate it, yo. I
And
mean, I appreciate
Brandy
it.
said, "Sheer brilliance and claps." And then Janelle said, "I received that, brother." Deep heart emojis and fire emojis.
Thank you. Absolutely. I appreciate that, yo. And you know what? It means a lot to me when people pick up on little stuff like that, because I purposely do that. One of my favorite genres of film, because I do a lot of film and stuff too, one of my favorite genres of film is a thriller. And I think a lot of people don't pick up on the little small pieces. So I purposely put stuff in there, and it's almost kind of like,
Yeah.
It's like my way of putting out a specific message to the intellectuals to be like, yo, psst, did you pick up on that? So it's one of my favorite things to do, is play with like double and triple entendres all the time. So
Yeah.
I'm glad people heard that. I like that.
Them Easter
like
eggs. Those Easter eggs.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Easter eggs in there. Yeah. I like that.
I'm going to read one last comment, and then I'm going to go to your question.
Okay.
Aaron is now watching. Hi, Aaron. Aaron Page is watching now with us.
All
And
right.
Jennifer said that felt that all up in my spirit. So blessed by your gifts, boo. That is her
Thank you.
comment.
I
And
appreciate
now we are going to go back to your question that happened earlier. Kelsey asked, how did you get involved in poetry? And did you just write your thoughts, or was it always in this form? Like, how would your writing process? Describe your writing process.
Oh, that's a dope question. A few people ask about that. Well, all right. So honestly, it was a weird thing. It was where one day my mother brought home. You ever go to the dollar store and you see these like journals that are just like empty books? So she brought me home one, but it was a pink one for some reason, and I was like, why would I have a pink journal? Like, why would I? She was like, just write, I just found a book. I figured you could write some stuff in it. And I was like, all right. So I would write little small stuff in there at first. So it'd be like, basic little poems and stuff in there. And then it just kept growing and it got bigger and bigger. And I was like, oh, I kind of like this. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of matured into this when I was going through my first divorce. And by the way, I'm not, I'm very open about, my life and so on. If it can be a lighthouse for other people's issues, then congratulations. I've been through 2 divorces. So when I was going through my first divorce, a friend of mine invited me out and they were like, look, I think you need to get away from the house for a little bit. And I was like, that's cool. And it was my first time going to an open mic. And I happened to have like one poem memorized. So she put me on the list and I went up there and like I stumbled and the people in the crowd were like, just go ahead and start over. And I was like, and that's when I found a home in spoken word. Shouts out to Godchild, the Omen, like CC Montgomery, a lot of them like just kind of pulled me into it and made me one of them. So Virginia became my spoken word home. And then it matured into what you see now, the version of spoken word that I do now, where it's literally, a lot of people compare mine to like just a conversation. I want you to feel like we're just in a conversation before you realize it's a poem.
Yes.
So
And
that's on
I
purpose.
I just want to say, like the third poem and the second poem, like in the third one, you talked about your life and how people see you and then what's really going on. And then in that second one, you talked about the type of woman that you're looking for, even though, because you said it wasn't a real person. So I'm going to say what you're looking for. And if people really want to get to know you, they should just listen to what you say.
Literally.
Oh, hands down. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. And that's what I've always said to people. I said, if you truly want to get to know, and you know what, it's not, again, in everything that I do, I try to make it so that people understand it's not just about me. I'm hoping that people are getting lessons for everybody. If you truly want to get to know somebody, pay attention to what they're into.
Right.
Like that should, like a lot of people think that's common sense. Like a lot of times I hear a lot of complaints from like friends of mine who are in relationships. And I'm like, well, do you do anything that they do? They'd be like, nah, I ain't trying to be bothered with that. And I'm like, well, then how do you ever expect to understand them if you never understand what, like if you don't like video games, who gives a shit? Take 5 minutes and play a video game with your man or your girlfriend. Right. Like if you don't like crocheting, who gives a shit? At least try it to try to get an understanding as to what puts fuel to their fire. You know what I'm saying? So if you aren't willing to take a moment to spend the time in the person that you care about and that you're intimate with, if you're not willing to take time into what they consider something that's special to them, then how can you truly say you're into that person if this is a part of them? You know what I'm saying? So that's, if you really want to learn Chamber 7 or Sean Singletary, like you need to know my poetry.
Oh, I got a question about that, but I'm gonna make this statement, then I'm gonna ask you that question about what you just said. And I was gonna say, because it's gonna turn to a whole nother conversation, so I'm gonna say it and then we can talk. Because the Boss Brains, as you know, we have chats and we talk about stuff, and some of what you're saying is basically about love languages. You have to know the person you're with love language to be able to communicate with them. And before we get into that, is there, I want to talk about both of that, but for you, Chamber 7, is there a difference between Chamber 7 and Sean T. Singletary?
Yes, there is. And that's a very astute question. Over time, I've kind of realized that Chamber 7 is like Sean T. Singletary is the business side. It's the muscle. It's the protector. It's what gets the job done, right? Chamber 7 is the soul of me. It's what It's what gives energy. It's what gives life to the skeletal structure. It's what gives, it's the heart. It's the, you know, it's the movement. It's everything else. It's all the nuance that comes with who I am. Whereas Sean T. Singletary is like the very logical, straightforward, this is what's going on. But Chamber 7 is the true heart, the true soul and compassion of me. And they kind of work in tandem. It's like, it's almost like a yin and a yang. They're very complementary of each other. So that's the way I see it.
And you need both, because it's all of you and it's encompassing of you.
Right.
I'm being appropriate.
You're tagging you in.
I'm being appropriate.
So
That got my damn nipples hard. Like, for a person to know themselves and know that you're not just one entity, you're multiple entities made up in one being, and just to know that and to be able to articulate that.
I think, I appreciate that. That's the essence of it, though, right? That's what it's supposed to be about.
And that shows the emotional maturity that you have. It takes time and trial and error to figure out the different parts of you, what fuels you, what makes you whole. And that's why when you get married young, sometimes you miss out on that. You know, those early marriages are trial.
Facts.
You know, and then you have, I can go on a tangent about this, but just a little quick nugget. You have the whole thing about, you know, getting married before sex, but I have some discrepancies in that, because who are you marrying? Who are you?
Right.
You know? And you have to separate those factors to figure out, are you just in a marriage to have sex?
Good point. Because that change, I think that changes the dynamic, and I'm glad you brought that up. I recognize that a lot of people fall into this idea, oh, well, you know, I want to do what's right and holy and so on and so forth. But what ends up happening is you fall so deep into traditionalism that you lose sight of the stuff that's truly important. If you, like, for instance, are you about to marry that person, or are you just marrying the representative and then that person shows up afterwards? And that's what ends up happening a lot of times when you don't, like, because I'm sorry, I'm not buying a car until I test drive it. If I'm gonna be real, if you know what I'm saying, like, I need to know every party. I need to know I need to know all the good stuff. I need to know all the bad stuff. And then after I've seen if I've seen the Carfax, you know what I'm saying? And I don't like everything that's on there. Like, give me all the totality of what I'm dealing with beforehand. I need them. You know what? If I'm with somebody, I want a handshake with your demons. And I want to see if we can, you know, I don't need to just meet the good side of you. I need to meet the bad side of you. Like, what are you like when you have a bad attitude? And I need to see if I can handle it. Do my demons and your demons, you know, do they two-step with each other, or we hanging out? You know what I'm saying? Or we going battle royale? I need to know all that. You know,
and that's an entire process.
And you can do a whole bunch of things. And I had a question about something, but I'm gonna make this comment and then I'm gonna go back to the demons, because you said something while I was trying to say something, and then you kept talking, because you know you do that. So, so one thing that you said, you were like, are they marrying the person or marrying the representative? But we also have to know that people have an idea of people that doesn't fit reality. So that could be the other person. And then also what you said about shaking hands with the demons, because you need to know that. However, I've met people and I'm just gonna say a little bit about me, because I am so happy and joyful. They try to make me mad to find the demon. And I'm like, you don't want to do
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Those demons, don't do it on purpose. Let them tell you about them and believe them.
Right.
Let it be natural.
And you know what? And that's the other half of it too. And I'm glad you said that, because I think, especially when it comes to relationships, because like you said, I've done some life coaching with a few people too. I've been in situations where somebody's trying to coax the demons out of me, and I'm like, no, you don't have to coax it out of me. I've already given you the warning. Pay attention to what I told you. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm one of those people, I've done the exploration, I've done the self-work, you know what I'm saying? So I'm going to tell you a few things, and I'm going to tell you what triggers to avoid. I'd appreciate if you just did that, because then you won't actually get to meet the demons. You're just going to cross paths with the worst side of them. You know what I'm saying? So that's a whole other segment in and of itself.
That part, because the first part of all of this is it's fantastic to sit and have this discourse, but if you don't know who you are, if you don't know your own representative to bring into
you shouldn't be exactly
none of this means anything. And so many of us don't take that time and or go through that ugliness to find out those parts of us.
That's
right?
true.
We
That's
don't
true.
do that work.
And I want to say, oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I was referencing it back to something that happened, like I feel like 20 years ago, so I don't remember what it is anymore.
And for those of you who are watching, like, not only like we are Boss Brains for a reason, and Chamber 7 is one of the people that's on our team. So and Raven and Devon, I love y'all. I'm about to say something, but that whole top row that you're watching, you have psychologists and life coaches and people.
Yep.
Nikita J, Chamber 7, myself, we are here to help you. So we've done the work. We're just not talking. Chamber 7 is not just talking. Nikita J is not just like, we do the work, we've done the work, and we help other people do the work.
Yep.
That's right. That's right.
And this is especially, I'm so happy this discourse is happening right now, considering that May is Mental Health Awareness Month.
It is.
Right.
And a lot of us and a lot of people are going through a lot of different things right now with this
especially now,
self-isolation, etc. Like this is so important to be taking care of yourself right now. And I'm not just talking about taking care of yourself in terms of making sure that, you know, closets are cleaned out, etc., dishes are washed, etc. I'm talking about here. I'm talking about here.
Right. But also doing that other stuff can help clean out your mind, because sometimes if you're looking at clutter, that's where your mind is. Sometimes your living environment is the same as what's going on in your head. And if you can clean out those spaces, you can clean out those spaces in your head. I'm not going to take over, Chamber. What you got to say?
Right.
No, that's an absolute fact, and I think a bulk of my purpose has been, especially in these last like 5 years, has been taking my life and saying, how can I help other people, and not just men, but women as well. And I've done a couple of things. I've helped women better understand the men that they're with. I've helped women understand the men that they've been chasing. And I've helped women understand the men that they hate. And then on the flip side, went there. So, and then I also help the men understand the same things with regard to like who they're with and what they're going through. And look, I'm also not saying that I've got it all put together, but from the few lessons that I've learned, I'd be like, yo, B, you might want to take a look at this. And I've had astounding results with people who have said, wow, I never looked at it like that. And a lot of the stuff that I've done has been with not only through poetry, but like through engineering. I've taken basic engineering principles and just used that as a methodology by which I asked the proper questions to get to the appropriate answers to help them figure out what was necessary to get to the answers that they were looking for.
Processes. Literally processes.
This has turned into a whole live amen.
It really did. And I'm gonna try to go back and do my job and read these comments.
Oh yes, you gotta stay on the comments because it's real time. You gotta catch it.
It's real time. So I'm back. I'm with y'all. So Erica, I even got on this train of thought when we were at the end of your last piece, said thanks for your transparency. And then you spoke to that about how you use your life, you know, in not only your pieces, but also what you just said with your coaching. And Erica said fuzzies and the blue. And I think that had something to reference in your last piece, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I got one of your quotes where I said, I want you to realize that we're in a conversation before you realize it's a poem.
Right.
You said it, and I snaps for you. And then Angie went back and she was talking about, you know, if you really want to get to know someone, the steps that we were talking about earlier. Courtney said she loved the phrasing and the genuine honesty and transparency in your last piece. Ed said stories are to inspire life within others. That's Angie continued with her last line of questioning and said, you want to know them, know what they are doing and what they're into. Lessons for everybody. Right. And then I quoted you when you said Chamber 7 is the soul of you. Because you said that. Jennifer said, as you look at your body of work. Oh, that's a question. I'm gonna come back to that, Jennifer. I'm trying to get through these comments. Courtney said Damone is a fool because of what you said.
I know. That's okay. They know me here.
They know you here, right?
I appreciate you. I appreciate your transparency as well.
And then Angie said Chamber Sean is the yin yang of me, because that's what you said. That was your quote.
Yes, absolutely.
Shea Butter, during the times that we were talking, both I think this was Nikita, she said, speak, sis. And then she said, sis, you're preaching. Kelsey said, too many people are marrying who they want the person to be or who they think they are. and not really seeing them for who they truly are.
That is a fact.
Courtney said, yes, handshake your demons, do your demon two-step. Jeez, my God. Erica said people in relationships right now during this quarantine meeting their mate's demons, unfortunately, for the first time.
Meeting a real person now, right?
That's serious. I don't know if y'all saw, and I'm gonna come back to this, but Red Table Talk, this last Red Table Talk, which I didn't even know was still on the air, this happened just Wednesday, and Jada admitted that during this quarantine, she realized she does not know Will.
Okay.
I'm gonna drop that
know that too, but we'll talk
about that later.
Right.
We need to talk about that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch that.
Because we have our own table talk right now, so keep going.
Literally. But Shay said we're having a brainstorm. That's what we do.
Yes.
Shea Butter said, "There's the issue. You've done the work, but they haven't. So they have no clue how to avoid your triggers because they aren't even aware of their own mama." Right. Angie said, "So true." Replying to Erica. Lawrence is watching. Hi, Lawrence White. Hello, dear. One of my favorite phrases is "do the work." Shea Butter said. Ed said, "Check your own demons before looking to acquaint yourself with another's."
Yes.
And Damone co-signed and said, "Exactly."
Yep.
And those are the comments. And now you have another question. So you let me know. I think you had some more.
Yeah. Bring on the questions. Absolutely.
Yeah, those are the questions.
So hold on. I got to scroll back. Okay. So Jennifer.
Go ahead.
Jennifer asked you, as you look at your body of work, how much and in what ways do you see the influence of other giants in poetry? For example, Baldwin, Poe, etc.
Wow. That's
the question. That's one of the questions I got last week.
That's a great question.
Me, so,
that's a fantastic question. So I'm gonna put it like this: like a lot of the body of work, because I want to make sure this is perfectly clear. A lot of my body of work, as far as poetry is concerned, because some people asked me before, why didn't I go into like become an English major? Why did I become an engineer? Because I went and got my degree as a mechanical engineer. But one of the frustrations that I had was a lot of my English teachers kept telling me what they thought the interpretation of the poet's work was, and I was like, how you gonna tell me you don't know it? So that became my own personal struggle. But the one thing I knew about engineering was that I know 1 + 1 is always 2, no matter what country you're in. However, I said all that to say that like about a lot of my foundation is from like Henry David Thoreau, Edgar Allan Poe, Baldwin, some James Baldwin's, so I have a whole plethora, Elizabeth Barrett Browning, a lot of these like old school poets, Shakespeare, you know what I'm saying? So I took a lot of those influences, and then as I matured and I got older and didn't even realize that they were the ones influencing a lot of my work. You'll hear a lot of like these and thous and stuff like that. I like old English kind of stuff. They became a lot of the foundation of my work, and plus a lot of them, when you go back and like read some of the Walt Whitmans and so on and so forth, you'll see a lot of the double entendres in the work that they have as well. Whereas I wasn't mature enough to understand it then, but then when I read it now, it's like, oh crap, I didn't even know that they did that. So, and then I started realizing I started doing it myself in my own work. Like I said, I like thrillers. And then when you go back and read some of that stuff again. So again, one of the things that I love is when people hear my piece the first time and they're like, oh, that was dope. But then when they read it later on, after they've experienced more life, they go, oh shit, I didn't realize that's what you were talking about. Well, that's the point. I want it to become classic. I want it to be something that you go back and reference several times and you go, oh, you know what? This is applicable to more than just one situation. And that's what I want. I want it to be like that. And that's based on, the influence of those people that I've read in the past and that I've researched in the past.
So my question for you about going back and referencing, do you have publications so that this can happen, that people can go back and reference?
That is an amazing segue. Thank you. Yes. As a matter of fact, I do. That was pretty dope.
I was a team player.
The best Scottie Pippen alley-oop I've ever seen.
I really did Scottie Pippen you.
So here's what I've done. I have recently come into the idea of doing more video broadcasting stuff. So I've actually got a YouTube channel. If anybody's ever checked out my YouTube channel, you can jump in on my YouTube channel. And I just recently released a brand new album on SoundCloud called Renovatio. I've been holding on to it like forever, and I just never really finished it until just recently. So if you get a chance, jump on the SoundCloud and you'll see Renovatio. I've got another one called I think Erotic Echoes is still available on SoundCloud too. And then I got one called Be Mine Valentine, where that's got some. And then I plan, like I said, I plan on doing several more on YouTube. There's one on YouTube right now that I still haven't finished. It's called Bear My Insecurities. And it's where I kind of take a journey through a lot of the stuff that men don't talk about. And it was based on another poet that came to me in the inbox and said, you know, brother, I really appreciate your work because like, there's a lot of stuff that I want to talk about, but as a man, I feel like I'm not allowed to. And I said, you know what? That's cool.
Real.
I'll talk about it for you.
That's real.
So that's
what I'm gonna please ask you to humbly do is when we are off the air, if you can go ahead and come back through into the comments and drop those links because you are more proficient. Unless you want to send them to me and I'll drop them, but I just want to make sure that our audience knows how to connect with you after our experience. So yeah, and give you that platform.
Absolutely, I can do that.
Yeah. So we're you know, we always go over time, but it's for a great reason. And
always.
You know, we can talk to you all night. So
all night.
We can continue talking because you know we can. Because we haven't even we touched a little bit on your life coaching and what you started with that. Did you want to say more about that or?
Just briefly, I just want to say, like, if there are any brothers out there that like you're in a situation where you feel like you got a question and you don't know who to go to or who to ask, I feel like. And it's not to pick on the women, but my specialty has been with regard to like men and some of the situations regarding men. And I've talked to a lot of them. So if you got a situation you need to talk to somebody about it, I feel like a lot of men don't feel comfortable talking to other people. And women, if you've got a question regarding not only yourself, your life or whatever, that's cool. I can help there too. But if you've got a man in your life, or you've got situations going on in your life that you need, a little bit of guidance, direction, or just a problem. I like helping solving problems. Like, just reach out to me and let me know, and let's walk through it, figure it out.
Yes.
Solving problems.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I recommend you because you are the person I call for different issue situations and to talk about different things that I don't talk with my boss brains about.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I get it.
So Ed just said men are trained to not speak about what's inside. And exactly. I was right in the middle of writing a response that I so want to change this narrative. But I wanted to jump in and give you your comments. And then Trenton, hi Trenton. Trenton Kendall is watching with us and he said, please keep talking. So thank you for tuning in, Trenton. And I'm happy that we are pleased that you like what you are hearing.
Yeah.
And did you see Church jumped in and said hey to everybody. So
all right. Yeah, what's up?
Go ahead and come on my phone.
And you know what? I want to send out a huge thank you to everybody who took an opportunity, like on their Saturday, to kind of chime in. That's kind of dope. I appreciate it. I realize that you ain't got shit else to do because we are on quarantine, but still, you could have been doing something else.
But we could have been doing other things, right? But we're here with you.
Yes.
And us.
And Nikita and Damone, y'all hadn't said much. Is there anything y'all want to add or say or ask of our feature? I
want to know what your 5-year plan is to give us more poetry.
Wow. Well, you know what? You asked at the right time. Here's I got there are like a select few pieces that I've like been constantly almost, I want to say almost recycling some of them, but I've got personal favorites that I've actually never shared with anybody ever, like even on air. When I was doing my radio show back in the day, I didn't even do it then. So like just recently when I dropped Renovatio, I have been holding on to that album for almost 10 years. I think, no, I take that back. It's been longer than that. It's been since like 2006 that I was working on that album. I even had the cover art done. I had commissioned an artist to do the cover art for it and everything. And I just never released it. And then one night I woke up in the middle of the night and I was like, you know what? Fuck it. And I just released it. So my 5-year plan now is I have well over like 500 pieces that I need to clean up, redo, resize, and get done. And I'm just gonna start firing them bad boys off, whether I get the opportunity to like tour or not. Them bad boys might be free. You know, I might need a few dollars just to help me like with some of the studio stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not balling like that. But I'm just gonna start releasing work, and that's my plan. Over the next 5 years, my plan is to release more poetry, get into some voice acting, get into some more real acting. I got an amazing job right now that kind of helps me sustain my regular bills, but like I really want to get back into like doing my thing and then showing myself, because I was in a deep depression, a deep hole for a long time. I think a lot of men find themselves determining their worth based on their ability to build income. And I recognized that this past year when I had lost a very significant amount of my income and I was struggling. And if it wasn't for the help of like family, friends, especially my father, like he came through in a huge way. And then I just had one thing after another just weighing me down. But like these people really helped me out. And I think that this is like me giving away that poetry and showing that work. Showing that body of work is going to be, and especially with my life coaching too, and showing men, hey, it's okay to tell people you fucked up.
Yeah.
It's okay to say, no, I made a mistake. It's not fair that you are always held to this standard of you are never allowed to make a mistake. You are never allowed to stumble. That's bullshit. That's not fair. So I think my next 5-year plan is to start showing people, yo, this is my poetry. This is my film. And this is me. And I'm just going to lay out all my art as much as I can. That's my plan.
And so also, will there be a self-help book for the brothers, to kind of focus on your life coaching, on the things you've experienced as a black man of culture and of great mental significance?
I feel like you've been reading my journal, because that has been weighing on me. Like I've been asking myself the question, like, and I'll be honest with you, like a lot of times I ask myself, is the shit that I'm saying even worth it? Like I recently started this thing where in the mornings I've often said to myself, like, nobody wants to hear what I got to say. So I started this thing where I'm on my way to work and I give everybody the opinion that they didn't ask for. So,
which is hilarious.
Right. And I just, it's kind of my thing. It's like going back to my old radio show. But yes, I have considered doing something where, I've got a lot of personal quips and things that I use that I've used in my life that I've kind of designed to help me get through things. I'll share with you one of them. Like a lot of times people will be like, oh, so-and-so feels this way about me and this, that, and the other. And I usually only say 3 very simple words. I always go, well, cite your source. And they go, wait, what do you mean, cite your source? And I said, well, you're telling me all this stuff based on what somebody else said. Tell me who they are. Like,
right.
You only weigh that much information. You only put that much emphasis on the information that's coming from somebody you respect. Why do you respect them?
Yeah, sure.
And what have they been through that gives them the right to say anything with regard to your particular situation? So that's just one of several. And I would like to, I've thought about that, like just doing a really in-depth look into how we kind of corner ourselves into problems as opposed to problems coming to us. A lot of times people will say, oh, I put myself in I'm in a bad situation. I'm like, yeah, but it's probably because you put yourself there.
Yes.
There.
Exactly. And I think by you being someone that is very well respected, for your knowledge, your influence, your ideas, your perspective, I think that self-help book would be well received.
Thank you.
Because we do have an issue in the black male community of worth when it comes to finances, because of a whole lot of other issues that I won't get into. But we definitely need to send that book out. They need that book. They need that encouragement. Artists, non-artists, entrepreneurs.
Yep.
We need that. So,
and not just with regard to just intimate relationships, but just life in general.
Absolutely.
I think one of the frustrating things that I've seen too, and I'll just add this piece, is a lot like me. I'm a guy who likes, even though I like keep my hands soft because I lotion all the time, I still like to get out there and do work. Oh yeah, I change tires. I like to fix stuff. Like if something's broken, I like to fix it because that's what I do. Right. Yeah. I like doing manly shit. Like I like shooting guns. I like fixing my car. I like, painting stuff. I'm working on a couple of projects right now. My room is a mess because I'm working on so many things. But there are some guys out there that don't know how to change a tire.
True.
You know, and I feel like they feel less manly because of it, but I don't think that that's fair that we have this expectation for all men to be the same, and that's kind of frustrating. So yeah, I think that, I would like to touch on that and be that, you know what I'm saying, and do that. And if people are willing to hear it, I would love to hear the feedback from the people in the comments if they think that's going to be a worthwhile project.
They gonna get this word
regardless.
You don't ask for permission.
You're right. What was I saying? You're right.
I'm gonna give you your comments, Bo.
All right.
Jennifer agreed with what Ed was saying about men not being trained to speak what's inside.
Yes.
Shea Butter said also in response to Ed, that's also because women have not allowed them the safe space to be vulnerable and protect them in that place.
That is so true.
Justin said, Justin is watching with us, Justin Tooney. He said, salute and high five my brother. And gave you a high five.
Yeah.
He also said, good evening, ladies. Thank you for acknowledging that.
Yes.
Natalie Baker said, nice job, Chamber 7.
Oh, hello, Natalie.
Jennifer said, the roles imposed on both genders don't reflect every human in an emotionally accurate or evolved way. Which
Amen. Yes.
Ed replied back to Shea Butter and said, through writing, I found out I need to speak because it was becoming detrimental to who I was because of him not being able to share. So his poetry has been that outlet for him to do that. And Shea Butter agreed and said, yes, absolutely. I commend you for that, brother. We have to work together to change the narrative. Kind of what the ladies were saying earlier. We have to do the work. Yeah. And then Jennifer said, truth be told, the only people I want advising me are people who know what it is to fuck up and come back from it.
Ooh.
And Ed agreed. Ed said, we need to learn to understand others on levels beyond what is the norm society has established to be. Yes. Shea Butter co-signed that and said, absolutely. And then Ed came back and said, absolutely. It begins with truly listening to understand. Mm-hmm. Kimberly said, right to everything. Mm-hmm. KP is now watching with us. Hello, KP.
Hey, KP.
KP said, Chamber, what's up?
Yeah.
Said, I missed it. But everyone always know all of our shows are always on replay, including this one. Our past 4 or 5 shows have been on are also on replay. So if you just follow our page, you will get notifications about new things, and then you can also go back and use and see our archive. So you didn't really miss it.
Yeah. And invite your friends to follow so they can
yes. Come and get this work.
Yes. And I do want to say about Mona Lisa down here in the bottom corner. That'd be Damone, because she's looking like the Mona Lisa, because she's looking delicious and she's sitting so regal like
right. So and
I want to say where Church was watching, Damone started a watch party. So I got tagged in the comments, so I just assumed it was from our page. And I was like, why didn't she say that?
And that's why I was looking like, because I don't know if you saw, but I went away for a second.
I'm gonna go to the watch party and tell you, Mojave yelled out "Boss Brains." Church said "Hey" to everybody and called Raven, aka Mockingbird. Church asked if you're playing a peekaboo. Courtney loved the phrase when honesty that was buried in the piece. Adrian Simone said, "Hey y'all."
Hey Adrian.
Lisa said yes, and shitty souls, because we was talking about some other stuff.
Yes.
We done had a whole sermon up in here.
Yes, right. Yeah, so that's why we missed those comments. You gotta bring us your watch party comments.
Yeah.
You gotta bring them to us. And then also, hold on.
Justin
Tooney said, to this day. We were talking about something and he was co-signing. He said, to this day. And Kimberly Jones said, hey, sir, my bestie Chamber is so smart.
What?
And then KP said, the Mona Lisa was an
yeah.
LOL.
Real. So if you don't mind, I also want to take a really quick moment here and shout out some of the people who've been issuing these comments, because I am humbled and honored. These ladies that I'm among, all of them are accomplished in every single possible way, not only in their creative world, but also in their professional world. So I appreciate y'all even having me on the show. But for instance, Miss Jennifer Fouché, who's made a couple of comments, is she's an amazing actor. She's been on several different stages all across the country. I've had the pleasure and honor and privilege of seeing her on several stages a couple times. So if you ever get the chance to see her name come across on lights, you got to go check out her show. Kimberly Jones, I had the honor and privilege of running across her in an Uber of all places. She's actually an NAACP nominee just recently. Her and a friend of hers co-authored a book called I'm Not Dying With You Tonight. They did an amazing job. Ed Mabry, oh my God, like he's been one of my favorite poets of all time forever. So to have him here is pretty dope. I heard Lawrence was here. Lawrence, I appreciate you coming through, bro. My Uncle Glenroy that came through. My Uncle Glenroy's been there like forever and a day. Justin Tooney, my high five brother. I'm honored, privileged to see him in the room too. Like he's been an amazing support system. He's been an amazing brother to me. Like he's been a friend. He's also an amazing poet. If you get a chance to catch him, I ran into him in Savannah, and me and him have been tight ever since. So that's just, some of the people that I can remember off the top of my head. Like all these people in the comments are amazing too. So please, if you run into somebody in there, please make a friend. Let's build our network. It's not just me, it's all of us together. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate y'all.
Right. And can you do something? So I'm gonna I want you to drop your Cash App, but also we have a Cash App for Boss Brains, and it's just $ Boss Brains. And what the funds will help us do is to get more features and be able to pay some features as they come in. So the proceeds will go to pay features and to prepare for when outside opens back up. We will be doing these actual events in person when we are able to. So $ Boss Brains. And if y'all donate and we can get more features, we can get the features some change. Also, if you want to drop your Cash App for us there, Mr.
I actually would, but I'm going to do something specific here. As a matter of fact, I think I have it here with me. I want to show y'all something right quick, especially with what's going on. I know we haven't touched on it much, but my Cash App is $ Sean Singletary, ShawnSingletary. I ran into a guy at one of my car shows, at my mechanics car show, and he has this really super dope Maxima. But then he and I kind of stayed in touch on Facebook, but he's doing something really cool. I want to show y'all something. Check this out.
Okay. And y'all just keep the questions and comments coming. We're supposed to be done like maybe 30 minutes ago, but we're going to keep going because we do what we want to do.
Check this out right quick. This is, these right here are custom face shields that he made in his house, in his garage, for all healthcare workers that have been struggling right now. His name is Dan Evans. And me and him stayed in touch, and I reached out to him, and he sent me a care package just recently of some face shields because I have some friends of mine who are healthcare professionals, and they couldn't get all of the face shield, and they've been reusing face shields while taking care of people with COVID-19. So I reached out to him, and he actually ordered like 3 or 4 printers. So here's what, and there's a reason. And then he sent me out like 20 face shields. I'm about to send these out to some of my friends right now that have been going through this, that are working the healthcare field and have to deal with that have to keep sharing face shields. So what I'd like to do is anybody that donates anything to me today, I want to send that money to him so that he can keep producing the stuff that he needs with all the raw materials. So if anybody sends me even so much as $1, $5, I want to pass that on to him because I've been blessed with the opportunity to have, I'm in a position right now where finances aren't a terrible thing right now. So, but if I can help somebody else out, that's cool. So anything that I get right now, $ Sean Singletary, I'm going to send to him so that he can have the raw materials that he needs to get the job done. And if y'all don't send shit, I'm sending him some money anyway, because that's my boy.
And also we'll send what we get to you. So
I
you can
appreciate it. All right, cool. Yeah, definitely.
Your name is very difficult to put in a Cash App. So $ Boss Brains.
Thank you. And I did that, and I was just getting ready to follow up and say,
because when I tell you that Singletary gets me every time with the L and the E, I always misplace them. I just,
So
I hear you.
So please, if you are donating to Boss Brains and you would like these funds to go to the effort that he just described, please put that in the notes so we know that. And if you're just supplying it to Boss Brains, let us know that too, just so we know, and we can make sure and be integrity with our funds and funded. So we really want to do that.
Yes. What else was I going to say? Is there anything else you want to say, do, or share? And I know we've been talking for an hour, and that's a long time for a lot of people. So,
I mean, if y'all game, I got another piece I can spit, right quick. So,
I mean,
Hey,
you still got viewers, boo. So
We're gonna close this out with another piece.
Yeah,
Because we've been for a long time. I'm surprised everybody is still here because we haven't done poetry in 30 minutes.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
right.
Oh, all right.
So go ahead and do another piece.
Okay. I got another. This is actually one that I've got up on my YouTube channel. So if you got an opportunity to swing by my YouTube channel, it's just Chamber 7, and check it out. I'll go ahead and drop all the links in here too, so you can see it. This one's called Hate the Way You Love Me. I'm starting to hate you. The worst part about that is the only reason I even feel this way is because of how much I love you. Love you to the point where I feel so confused. I don't know whether your lack of affection should be blamed on absent-mindedness or emotional abuse. When we discuss your deep-seated feelings of mistrust, I am open, but when I have legitimate evidence as to how you may have a warped perspective, you combat my efforts by dismissing my words as merely an excuse. So now I am no longer as fond of your affection as I once was. Since lately, you have merely dismissed my advances as harbored lust. Intimate interactions seem to be looked upon with disgust, so rather than being blamed for inciting rape, I tuck tail between legs and keep mouth shut. You don't want to be seen as a sexual object, and to that I do not object, but please tell me what to do when my attraction to you makes me erect. It's not a matter of disrespect, but by sheer instinct when I begin to think of the pleasure of your curves. What am I supposed to do when you believe that meeting my need is more a matter of greed and less of an uncontrollable urge for you? What if I am simply suffering from the side effects of being addicted to your intimacy? What if the true disconnect is that you don't feel the same about me? Look, if you're reluctant or even a slight bit hesitant to offer your affection, then I don't want it. I don't want the haphazard crumbs that fall from your table of emotions. Said piece.
Yes.
nigga, that was a whole ass sermon.
I appreciate it. I like that. I appreciate it.
Yes. And before you start, I just want to say that Mojave said Slim Bear, and then he said the ladies are
That the ladies are what?
Slim Bear in the building. That's right.
Slim Bear.
Yeah.
Deborah Williams said, she said, "Hey, beautiful sisters," and she asked for the Cash App again. I posted it. This is all on the Mona Lisa's page.
The Mona Lisa.
Yeah,
you done made a whole nother.
The
She might have a whole new name before it's over.
New name.
Mona Lisa.
I like that. I like that shit.
I was begging for a new name for a second, and she just get it here.
I like that. I like that shit. Yes.
So let me go back. Deborah Williams is now also watching in our chat.
Okay, good.
KP said, "Twat King, real niggas do real things."
Yes. Word. I like it. I like it.
Said the village builds a better world.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Raven put the Boss Brains hashtag and said you appreciate what you're hearing and seeing.
Yeah.
KP gave the love emojis and the muscle for the comment that you were making about your friend and what he's building and providing for front line providers.
Right. I appreciate that.
I had to quote, "addicted to your intimacy," and say, "My God."
I like that.
Tara is now watching, and she said, "Awesome."
Nice.
Trenton says, "I'm ready to risk it all." What's she ready to risk it all for? What?
Oh shit!
I just need some specifics. Okay. KP said that there are levels to these risks. Facts. Trenton laughed.
Right.
Natalie said that was deep and she loves it.
Nice.
Angie gave you snaps. Kimberly Jones said a word, and Jennifer said, "Wow."
Wow. All right.
I'm telling you, people, y'all better take this time to learn yourselves and do this work. So when outside opens back the fuck up, you'll be ready for some shit.
That's right. That's
ready
right.
to open back up.
That's right.
I'm gonna just leave it like that.
Disclaimer, this is why we don't go past an hour, because everybody gets very comfortable and things just get there.
I mean, We start loving on things.
I mean, I
Lord.
said what I said and I meant it, but okay, you're right.
And you already see me. I'm over here sipping a little something as it is. I'm trying to,
Right. You see, we all been like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I got water in my cup. I got
right.
water.
We know you got water. I got drinking mine.
AKA Queen Prophet say she said do the work and gave you a muscle. And Mojave talking about he sent the cash money to somebody else because I posted your cash app. I don't know. Who knows?
He said it to somebody else.
Nope, we're not gonna talk about this.
So okay.
Okay. Good.
Yep.
Well, Justin said, damn, I missed your poem, and he had to step away from work. Justin, as I already described for our other viewers, all of our shows, all of them, this one and the ones from prior weeks, they are all on archives on our Boss Brains page. Please feel
and
free.
This one is on YouTube as well. Our YouTube page.
Yes,
absolutely.
and so we also
another thing too, like even if people decide, because I'm gonna revisit this again. So even if people leave comments after the show is over, I'll go back and answer those questions, and I'm gonna make sure I put in my SoundCloud. Justin, don't worry, I'm gonna repost a lot of these new videos and stuff too. So just hang tight, bro. I got you. Don't you worry about it.
And also from my page, I got my friend Carrie McCoy. She's actually another accomplished actress. She said, "Nice." Because that's how she said,
noise.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah.
By the way,
Bernadette said that I'm sorry.
I just want to mention I'm drinking my Dos Equis. This is my new beer choice, but this is specifically for Cinco de Mayo. Everybody who wanted this to stay your ass at home and have your drink, and then have yourself a tortilla. We can all have a Zoom party, but let's just let's defeat this thing together. You feel me?
That's right. That's right.
Demo, you got something to say?
Simone Copperfield.
She just sent me a message. So Michael Gwen is watching. She gonna send it to the chat. Why you?
Oh,
I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not.
I'm pleased.
Bernadette Blakely said she's here for all of this, and
nice. Appreciate that, Bernadette.
And then Justin tried to play us and said somebody else got that financial blessing with this laughing emoji, and so then he later on said okay bet when you said what you said about sharing your links and how this is for replay. But that's all right. We gonna get ours.
Yeah, that's fine.
Will.
Bosses always come up.
That's right.
What they need to.
What God got for the bosses will have.
Come on, you gonna receive that in your whole spirit, my God.
Right.
My God.
So before we go, Chamber, I know you'll have some good words.
Yes, ma'am.
I want to ask you, how are you faring in the with the COVID situation? How are you doing, and how is everything? Oh, before I do that, I want to say hey to my battle buddy. She just checked in. Hey, Ricky, pretty Ricky, what they call her. Well, go ahead.
So check this out. I had a conversation with my mom and my dad. I told them, they were like, so how you, they asked me the same question. I said, man, I've been training for this all my life. I know this seems a little weird, but I've been an introvert for the longest time, and I didn't really classify it that way until like just recently. It's funny how a string of events happens. I took a personality test for a job that I was going out for, and they classified me when I was like, what? And then when I did more research and I was like, wow, and I read up on it, I was like, oh, that's legit me all day long. So like I'm cool with being to myself. Like I got plenty of work to do. One of the hobbies that I kind of developed, not only just fixing stuff, but I started working on building Bluetooth speakers, because that's one of the things that I wanted to do too. So I wanted to make a line of Bluetooth speakers that I sold for myself. So I found this page where you can do like do-it-yourself projects, and I ordered all the parts, and I have, I got a slew of stuff that I've been sitting around here. So my first project I did, and it came out great. It was actually a speaker that I got from the Goodwill for like $6. And then it turned out to be like my home theater system. So it's loud as shit. It's amazing. And then I started working on this other project where it's just a small little Bluetooth speaker that I repurposed out of something else. And I got a bunch of power tools, and I've been fiddling with it, and I've just been painting on it. So that's going to go up here pretty soon. All that stuff is going to be on my YouTube page. And eventually what I like to do is build a line of them, and then I would like to start kind of on them out to the public so people can have a official Chamber 7 Bluetooth speaker, so to speak. So
I can be a tester. I volunteer as tribute to be a tester.
I see you. I see you.
Yeah.
I got you. So
And editing some films, right?
Writing poetry or writing scripts or working on stuff. I'm doing something.
You're editing films, right?
Of course I am. Yes, I am.
And documentaries, like
say that.
Some type of
life coaching session, perhaps?
Or some documentaries or whatever you're doing or editing or getting together over there.
That's on there too.
Okay. Just
yeah. We're just checking in with certain
right. Projects. I know. Checking my to-do list, making sure I got stuff going on. I do.
Yeah. You might have some deliverables, if you will.
Yes, I do. Yes, ma'am.
So there's that.
Yeah.
Back to the comment. So Courtney said she just wanted to say she initially saw you, Chamber, 7 years ago at a poetry open mic, and she was singing it, and that she's been a fan ever since, and she could not miss this live.
Wow!
And she gave you a heart emoji, and she gave you the sanctified.
Wow! Thank you so much, Courtney. I appreciate you chiming in, Courtney. That's a blessing. I appreciate you chiming in. Thank you. I remember that. She is an amazing singer, by the way.
And then Justin co-signed my boss. He said "boss" in his Rick Ross voice. Made that music.
My man.
Yeah. I have to ask you if I can share this because you try to be humble and stuff. I mean, I'm not about to say nothing crazy. So when I
you look real terrified.
Do you remember what you said to me? Can I share that?
Yes.
Okay. So I hit Chamber up and I said, "Hey, the event is up. Please share the event with your friends and your fans." And he was like, "Fans? That sounds so odd."
Yeah, he does that.
You have them.
He does
so
that.
This is proof of what I wrote to you.
You're right.
He does that.
Right.
You have fans. I mean, she's been following you for 7 years, and you probably have other people out there that have been following you. So we appreciate you.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Oh, another thing I forgot to mention too. I keep taking these glasses. The only reason I keep taking my glasses off is because I don't like y'all to see the light in my glasses. Right. But anyway, Lovecraft Country comes out in August on HBO. It's one of I think Jordan Peele and Spike Lee worked together on this project. I could be wrong, but double check that. But yeah, Lovecraft Country. And the only reason I mention that is because I play an extra, and I think you might catch a glimpse of me in that bad boy. So if you get a chance, check it out. Lovecraft
Speaking
Country
of which,
in August.
I saw you in The Watchmen.
Oh, you did? Yeah.
I saw you in the HBO special, The Watchmen. I saw it.
Yeah.
And Jennifer also says that she said, as brilliant a poet as Chamber is, he's an incredible actor. So that's just she literally was just foreshadowing what we were about to talk about in case folks don't know.
I appreciate it. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Heavy hitter.
Yes.
Speaking of other hits, are you still fighting?
Yeah, you know what? I unfortunately have not been able to train as much as I wanted to. I was gonna get back into the gym here with the intent of doing so, and then COVID-19 kind of jumped in. So unfortunately, all I've recently been doing is focusing heavily on my diet, as well as just doing some like home stuff, like push-ups, sit-ups, and that kind of thing. And when I get a chance, I try to run as often as I can. But, with COVID, everybody's freaking out and they don't want you out in the streets and all that kind of stuff. So, however, I do have my own bench at home. I haven't gotten involved in like a lot of like bench work as far as like my lifting that I wanted to just yet. Just trying to get life and stuff in order. However, I have been doing like the other stuff in order to kind of stay as fit as possible. So I still do my push-ups, my sit-ups. I try to do some plank work, anything that's like body weight stuff. I try to do that kind of stuff to try to keep myself as trim as possible. But I've noticed the biggest significance in my health with regard to just like maintaining my diet. So I've been doing things like intermediate fasting. I've been trying a lot of vegan meals. One thing vegan in Atlanta. Oh my God. And now I'm gonna make this perfectly clear. I don't profess to be a vegan. I still eat meat. And I realize that freaks a lot of people out, but I tried to be a vegan for like a month,
and like the vegan community is very religious, and it's kind of frightening. It almost
Yeah.
act like a cult sometimes. However, I know some vegan friends, so I try a lot of vegan meals, and I don't eat near as much meat, and I've noticed a difference in my body and my energy level. So whether I become a full vegan or not, I don't know in the future. I also like, and I know this is kind of weird too, I still drink on occasion, as y'all can tell, but I still guzzle a lot of water. I literally just like drink literally just water and alcohol, basically. And more water than alcohol. And then as far as like food is concerned, yeah, I just stick with a lot of vegan meals lately. So yeah, as far as like training is concerned, I haven't been able to get into it like I want to, but I'm still trying to maintain my physique. So as
Okay.
best as I can.
Well, your fans are shouting you out again, and called you out. This one, Kimberly said he's only talking about them extra roles. Shaking my head. Tell him to talk about when he played Harry Potter's best friend.
Oh, see,
And then Jennifer came and said, right. So then Justin said that he connected with you on a blog talk on Facebook 8 to 10 years ago.
oh yeah, that's
And
true.
and read your whole stuff and said you were in the movie Imperium too.
Yep.
Yes, that is true.
All true.
I have done quite a bit of acting work, and I appreciate those who have shouted me out, called me out like that. One of the ones that I'm pretty known for is when I did a spot on the show Imperium. If you get a chance to check it out, Daniel Radcliffe plays an undercover agent. It's actually based on a true story. Yeah, most people know him as Harry Potter, and just so you know, he is a regular chill dude. He's really nice, really kind-hearted. Like literally, like I was sitting in the makeup trailer and he walked in and I remember they said, "Hey Sean, they want you on set before we do your makeup. So can you go out there?" And I was like, "Cool." So I went to stand up and he literally like was walking in as I was about to walk out. And he was like, "Hey, you're Sean, right?" And I like had this like really crazy schoolgirl moment. Like, oh shit, he knows my name before I even know his. So like that was just an amazing experience. I actually made really good friends with one of the producers on the show too, who actually lives in Atlanta. His name's Ty Walker, and he was one of the guys who was like mentored by Will Packer, and I thought that was really crazy. So he and I have interacted several times. I've made some amazing friends out here who are like genuine, real people who aren't just like the bullshitters in the industry, because there are some. But these people have been really cool. So that one experience kind of spooled into everything else. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to Sylvia Hudson's talent agency that got me involved with that. And then every once in a while, you might catch me on the ID channel because I often play a serial killer. It was kind of a running joke at the agency, too, that I often play a serial killer.
I'm sorry, but that's my favorite because I watched that and I was like.
And I'm happy you said that because Angie came right in with Ice Cold Killers.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
She said Sean was an awesome serial killer picking up girls at the bar.
When I tell you, he played
Yeah. And
he didn't even look like himself, and he transformed, and it took you into the embodiment of the actual man that he was playing, the serial killer. Like I was like, do I really know this person? Like,
you know what I'm saying?
That's how great of an actor he is.
And that shows the depth of his talent and the layers.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
I apprate it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to do the work.
Do the work.
That's right.
Show up.
Mr. Chamber 7, is to share your social medias, share your hashtags, and share your Cash App again. And anything else that you want to say? Because we're going to go.
I'm actually looking it up here now. You can actually find me on IMDb too if you're interested in some of the other like acting work that I've done. It's the Internet Movie Database, and I'm under my name, Sean Singletary, SHAWN SINGLETARY. You can find me on Facebook under Chamber 7, CHAMBERSEVEN. You can find me on YouTube under, I think it's the same thing. I'm actually going to double check.
He gonna drop all these links, y'all.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually like send all these links out too. But you can find me on you can find me on YouTube under CHMBRSE7EN. And then you can find me on Instagram under ST Singletary.
Yeah.
And then if anybody's a car fanatic, I got a 1967 Mustang that I roll out every once in a while, and it has its own hashtag. She has her own IG, and it's under Serena351W. So if you want to check that out too, every once in a while she and I go through for a ride, but she's been kind of hibernating for a while, so I'm gonna bring her back out here in a little bit too.
Okay.
Yeah, she ready.
Very nice.
Ready? She'll be ready. So
Yeah, I need you to get off what page you on and come back to this screen because you froze.
Yes.
can you see me now? I'm off.
No,
We can see you, but you're frozen. That's all.
I mean,
I can see myself. Wait a minute. What happened?
he
I
don't listen. I
Why
said
you
drop.
do that? We're gonna close out. Ladies, is there anything you want to say to our feature individually before we go? Anybody want to say anything?
Just thank you for coming and for sharing. Thank you for being our first feature outside of Boss Brains, the Boss Brain team. So
Y'all were both talking at the same time.
Cool.
You and Demona Lisa.
Okay, Demona Lisa, you go.
Oh, I was just saying thank you, and this conversation was an eye opener.
Can't really hear.
The volume is all the way down. We can't hear you. Okay.
Oh, okay.
She's
Yes, she.
Well, all right.
All right, go ahead, Miss Elusive RAV.
all I was doing is saying thank you. Oh,
He's gonna come back. Go ahead.
Okay. Thank you. I think we had an excellent first feature out of our visiting features, that are not Boss Brains. So we really appreciate you coming in, giving your time, sharing your talents of the whole myriad of them.
Appreciate it.
And so, just thank you for coming and spend some time with us. Thank you for bringing your fans and your followership here. Thank you, everyone who tuned in, especially our new viewers. We hope that you are not new anymore. We hope that you will join us every week because we do the brainstorm every Saturday at 7 o'clock.
Fantastic.
So just thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate y'all having me. I'm sorry about that little freeze up, but I just reloaded. So thank you so much. I'm back again. I appreciate y'all. All of you look amazing and beautiful. I appreciate you having me on the show.
Before you get there, nope. Miss Nikita J, we gonna talk and then we gonna let you close. We gonna let you talk. We gotta say what we gotta say about you first.
Oh.
Okay.
So Miss Nikita J, go ahead.
Well, I would just like to say that I've enjoyed hearing your poetry once again. It's always a pleasure. Thank you for being our very first non-Boss Brains feature.
That's right.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
You're amazing. You're well-versed, multi-talented. And I just pray that you continue to prosper and live in your truth and grow and feed us with all that you have to give because you have a lot to share.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
And here's to you.
Yes.
And I want to say my friend Carrie, that is the actress, y'all might need to connect. She said, keep up the good work. Proud of you, my brother. Proud of you, ladies. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
And I just want to say thank you for coming out and just repeat the sentiments of everyone. We are glad that you agreed to be our first feature. We would not have anyone else because you are a friend to all of us. You are in our circle. You might not be Boss Brains, but if we have an honorary male membership, you will be the first one.
Yes. Thank you. Yes. Yes.
You too.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Yes. So go ahead. Now is your turn. Go ahead. But you're amazing, beautiful, lovely, handsome, awesome, exciting, enticing, all that stuff. I can't think of any more adjectives right now, but whatever they are, all the good ones, you are it. You are love. You are amazing. You are a man of substance.
And somebody wants to know if you're single in the comments. I wasn't going to say that until she said that, but now she said that, and so I'm going to continue.
Yes, actually, I am. I'm gonna put it this way. I'm single. I'm super single. I'm as single as they come.
Before you say that, I just said we are all friends. You got to come through all of us.
Every single one.
That was gonna be my next statement. If you're applying for this position,
there will be a process.
And whole gatekeeping position. My God. Yeah.
gotta go
And
through.
we
You gotta go
all
through.
got
You gotta go
distinct
through this whole
personalities.
panel. The whole panel interview and everything. Yeah,
And it's all panel motherfucking interview.
it is. It's a panel interview. It's all types of panel interview. Yeah.
Yes. Go ahead,
No.
Mr. Chamber 7.
No, I was just gonna say with regard to that comment, and this is for all my male friends, I'm single on purpose. And I've been reading this one particular book by a gentleman by the name of Nakata. He wrote a book called Heart on Break, where he tells men that they need to take a break and truly understand your worth. And I think a lot of times, a lot of men, like, no bullshit, don't understand what their worth is and put way too much emphasis on the wrong shit. They spend a lot of time trying to, get all these, muscles or make a whole bunch of money, but they haven't dealt with the trauma that comes from how they decide who they end up chasing after in the first place. So, yeah, I'm single, but I'm single because I want to be. And I have a particular, I've been involved in a piece that's so amazing that if you plan on coming in here to join with me, if you're not augmenting this piece, then you can't be here. And it's that simple. And that's not to be mean. That's not to be crass. I'm not just saying that as a man, I'm the only person that feels that way. I think everybody should feel that way. Don't ever let anybody interview. Like, your peace should be paramount. And if before you have a relationship, you better have a relationship with your peace first.
Your whole self. Your whole self.
Facts. That's all I'm gonna say.
The whole gospel, because that is the life I'm living right now.
My
hair out.
You will not interrupt my peace with just a piece of you.
No, and if you thought that was lethal, what I just said, you should have a life coaching session with me and see how real it gets.
Hey,
right. Look. And can we speak to the people? If you don't know your own peace, don't come over here trying to steal mine. Like, if you can't be comfortable in your own silence, don't talk to me.
Don't talk. Right.
If you don't want me, then don't talk to me.
Right. You're trying to segment which piece of you gonna share with me. Don't interrupt my whole piece.
That's right. That's right.
Okay. All right. So I want to thank everybody for watching.
It's real this late.
Brains presents the Brainstorm and Intimate Poetry Experience. As said before, we will be here next week. 7 p.m. We will have a brand new feature. We will have Peter. You want to announce the feature?
No, let's make them wait a little bit.
Make them
just
wait.
know.
Make them wait.
Okay. So we're going to have another exciting feature. Be sure to watch the page because the feature will drop on Monday.
Yep.
Nice.
So watch the page. You'll see the feature. Hopefully you all can tune in once again. Again, we'll be here every Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern Pacific time. So join us. We'll have poetry. We'll have conversations. We'll have an intimate poetry experience each time. It's intimate because you get to talk up close and personal with the poet that is presenting.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, so thank y'all so much for watching and for hanging in
so much. Appreciate you.
All right. Love y'all.
Till the next.
Yes.
Top of it.
Hashtag be boss.